I bring to you a speech from the Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Education, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, who would have loved to be here but was held up, and he sent me to read his speech. Let me thank the University Council and management for honoring me with the invitation to be with you on this auspicious occasion that marks an important transition in the lives of graduates who are gathered here today. I join the rest of the members congratulating the graduates and urging them to put the education they have acquired from this institution into proper use for the benefit of our nation and humanity at large. Ladies and gentlemen, the role of universities in the creation of knowledge for development cannot be overemphasized. Universities in any nation are the reservoirs of knowledge which is required in all the centers of our economy. The Ministry of Education has embarked on a critical evaluation of our curricula at all levels, with a view to aligning the sector to the needs of the country's job market. The overarching goal of this review is to ensure that learners' potential and unique areas of strength are identified at the right time and stage and harnessed in the best way possible. As a constitutional requirement, we are engaging with all stakeholders in this review to ensure that the product of this exercise is acceptable and beneficial to all parties. On higher education, we shall continue to look up to our universities to lead the way in developing relevant academic programs and initiating research projects that are geared towards solving the numerous problems that are hampering our socioeconomic growth as a nation. Together, these programs and research undertakings should feed into and inform the country's policy process. For this to happen, our universities must have the requisite physical facilities as well as human resources to enable them to carry out their mandate as centers of academic excellence with relevant research output to feed the country's policy formulation process. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that the government has made great efforts to establish universities and other institutions of higher learning in the past decade. Today, we have 23 fully fledged public universities and 10 university constituent colleges. However, numbers alone will not count for much if we do not pay due attention to quality and relevance. It is for this reason that my ministry, the Ministry of Education, has spelled out a number of measures which are intended to invigorate higher education to achieve the desired quality standards. I have asked the Commission for University Education to play its role with greater vigor to ensure that standards are not just established, but even more importantly, adhered to. Of learning institutions and their campuses by the Commission for University Education should be seen in this light. Strict compliance with laid down rules and policy guidelines is a must. If need be, we shall boost the Commission's capacity to give it necessary resources and legislative strength to deal with the emerging challenges, particularly in relation to implementation of quality policy decisions. I wish, however, to urge the universities to develop internal structures to implement the policy guidelines that give priority to quality standards at all levels. As constituted today, our universities have these structures, And what they require is the will and the resolve to enforce them. The existing internal mechanisms must be reactivated to enforce quality standards. This way, the universities will have spared the ministry and the commission the additional supervisory roles. It is imperative that any steps we take in relation to expansion, development of academic programs, and appointment and promotion of staff be guided first and foremost by the need to enforce quality and standards in our operations. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm aware that most of our universities are strained in terms of resources and cannot adequately meet their financial needs, as was elaborated at this time by the chairman of the council. We shall continue to address this in the best way possible. However, I would like to encourage our universities to develop mechanisms of generating income to augment the government computations. Finally, let me once again wish the graduates well in their future undertaking. May God give you strength as you embark on the next phase of your academic and professional life. And to add and to answer to the requests by the Honorable Governor about the road tarmac from Kwavonsa to this institution, I'll pass the message, Governor, to my Cabinet Secretary, and I know they are also aware of the same. And as for the request from the Honorable Senator on the shortage of primary and secondary school teachers, I will also continuously support you and talk with the TSE and other relevant organs to support the increasing of teachers to primary and secondary schools in Kitui County. And thank you so much because of the improvement of academic work in the county. We've noticed a lot of improvement has taken place, and we thank the leaders, the parents, and the students for the effort in spite of the shortage of teachers. And as I wind up, I want to thank you for inviting us and to say, may God bless our graduates, our parents, and everybody else who has attended. Thank you, and receive greetings from the Cabinet Secretary. He really has this university at heart. Thank you so much. Have a good day.